Lord, everyone. Brother Roop here. We are in the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 32. Cornelius, the first Gentile to come to the church, had gone and sent his people to go get Peter, who was hiding out with Simon the tanner. You know, Peter was a preacher to the Jews first and Gentiles second. Kind of the opposite of Paul. Paul was to the Gentiles first and the Jews second. Anyway, well, he preached to the Jews, but they kind of always ran him out. He preached mostly to the Gentiles. But anyway, Peter was primarily focused on the Jews, and he had been preaching to the Jews and making the Jews mad, and because Peter was hiding out at Simon the tanner's house in Joppa. That's a place where Jews don't go because, you know, tanners deal with dead bodies, and dead bodies make Jews ceremoniously unclean. And so they won't go near a tanner's house. Plus, tanners, they stunk, man. They just stunk. I mean, we deal with hides and things like that, and they got to use some basic chemicals involved, and it stinks up the place. And that's one of the reasons why tanners mostly were along the seashore or up on a hill, because they get that breeze blowing and blows the stink out. You know, because tanners apparently didn't like it too much either. So anyway, Cornelius got Peter, sends people out, got Peter. 4 days later, Peter arrives, and Peter asks, "Hey, why did y'all send for me again?" Because he walks in, there's a room full of Gentiles, and Peter hasn't been preaching the Gentiles, he's been preaching the Jews. So he was kind of curious as to what he needs to do here, but Peter's kind of got the understanding, because God gave him that vision not to call unclean what God has made clean. And as we're going to find out, he understood that. So let's read the verse here, verse 32, and it's a continuing story. "Send therefore to Joppa, and call hither Simon, whose surname is Peter. He is lodged in the house of one Simon, a tanner by the seaside, who, when he cometh, shall speak unto thee." So, that's exactly what Cornelius did. He followed the angel's instructions, got Simon. Call hither Simon. I always like that. That's one of the King James words I always liked. Come, call hither Simon. And Simon the tanner, and nobody knew where Peter was. Looks like Peter's kind of hiding out there, but you know, God knows where everybody's at. So he told Cornelius exactly where to find Peter. And I'm sure Peter was kind of surprised by that. Anyway, Peter is fixing to preach to them, and salvation is going to come to the Gentiles. And it's a great, great story. And let's see if it's the next verse. No, it's coming up. It's coming up. Be patient. Thank y'all.